Hello everyone, welcome to the feather wreath tutorial. You're going to need a styrofoam wreath, some paint, a hot glue gun, and some die cut feathers. As you can see here, I started painting the wreath a similar color to the feathers that I die cut from the Sunshine in My Soul Glitz paper. And I picked a neutral blue that kind of went with it and just painted my wreath. So what I did was I separated the feathers into sizes and styles. So I have a bunch of big feathers that are going to go in the background, medium size, different shapes, all kinds of different feathers. So I separated those into piles, and then I went ahead and the feathers that didn't have any stem on them, you know, the feathers are very flat, so I wanted to give them dimension. I used a paintbrush and a mouse pad, and I just ran my paintbrush down the middle of the feather. Then I pinched in, and then I also am using a thicker paintbrush to curl the edges. So that kind of gives it a three-dimensional look instead of being so flat. Feathers obviously are not just flat, they kind of curl and bend. So I wanted them to have dimension and be almost like a real feather. So now I'm going to start placing my feathers down, and I just kind of go with the general feel of the wreath, using all the big ones in the background, and if need be I would cut off the ends, tuck some here or there. You really just have to get a feel for it, and it may not look perfect at first, but it will start to look good once you start layering all the feathers in there. Once I kind of got a general feel of how I wanted my feathers to look, I took them off and started laying them down. And I'm using hot glue to stick them down with. It works good. You can also pull them off if they don't look right. So I'm just tucking in here or there, cutting off some of the stems. I didn't want them to be too long. I'm using a pretty small size wreath. I believe it maybe is about 8 inches. I got this wreath at the dollar store, and obviously it works pretty well for this little project. So you can see there, I also didn't glue it down flat. I gave it kind of a little bump. I wanted it to, like I say, add dimension. I wanted it to pop. I wanted it to not look so one-dimensional. So I just glued down the bottom, and then I popped up the top, the middle, and then glued down the other end. And that gives it a little bit of flow, a little bit of natural look to the feathers. And just keep layering, keep pushing feathers here and there, and gluing down as you go. As you can see, I started adding the other size feathers, and these are really just the filler feathers. You really want to fill in all the spots that don't look right, give it more of the wreath shape. tuck them in here and there, glue them down. The smaller feathers you want to go on the top, but you can also tuck them in on the sides and the bottom, and it'll give that wreath look. Okay, so I have all the feathers stuck down pretty much the way that I want them to lay, and I decided that I wanted to add just a little bit of something other than feathers. So I took these dollar store thumbtacks and I just pushed them into the styrofoam wreath here and there to give it a little bit of a different element to the wreath and a sparkle. I also wanted a side embellishment, so I took some stickers from the same Glitz line, and I am powdering the back of them because I'm not sure where I want to stick them for one, and for two I know I'm going to pop dot them, so this way it doesn't stick to my feathers and I can reposition it until I have it the way I want. So I really like to do this with any of my stickers. Even if I'm not pop dotting them, I always baby powder them so I can put them wherever I want and then just add a little bit of glue to the back when I figure out what I want to do. So we're putting pop dots on all the little stickers and adding some more dimension, more pop to the wreath. Okay, I don't like one dimension. I really like it to be 3D. So I go ahead and layer the stickers the way that I want, and I'm just going to hot glue that to the side of the wreath and add my little sentiment. You also need to determine where your top of your wreath, your bottom of your wreath, the sides of your wreath are going to be. So you'll see that it kind of shows that to you. I had a clear distinction of where I wanted this embellishment to go when I looked at the wreath. Really look at it, see how it, there's might be a spot where it just looks plain or bare, and it'll show you exactly where you need to put that embellishment. And there you have it. That's it. Once you've hot glued your embellishment down, your wreath is done. Hang it on your wall, on your door, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you.